This is the place to be.
Yeah.
This is the place to be.
Yeah. Innovation Days.
Hello, everybody. This is Morten from INKISH. I have the pleasure of talking to a young man, Georg, from Müller Martini in Switzerland. So, Georg, first of all, welcome on INKISH. And secondly, before we turn on the camera, I'm kind of embarrassed because we have sitting in the same room. We have been talking to each other. You gave me a T-shirt. And yet I had to get a reminder from you about that we actually met. And I think actually I remember from now when I remember, we had some good conversations in Sofien, right?
Yes, that's true. Good afternoon, Morten. Thank you for having me here in this format.
Always.
It's the first time we do that, so yeah, that's cool. Usually I send my boss to do it. Volker Leonhardt, he likes to do it, and especially he likes your bonjour sessions in the morning.
I got a message from him this morning because I was talking to your colleague Paula as well about, there's so many things to coordinate, I guess even more for you guys when we're going to Innovation Days. And for me, it's like coordinating from about 120 different companies, about interviews, about bonjours, about, all those things. It is actually quite some puzzle to do a show like Innovation Days, right?
That's for sure, yes, of course.
But what is it? Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do and how long time you've been working for Müller Martini.
Well, to put it in a context for you, we just talked about Volker. He's the president of Global Sales, so he's overlooking all global sales activities, the market regions, but also sales and marketing with our factories. My role is vice president Global Sales, responsible for our factory sales. So that means with my team of dedicated application specialists with a dedicated regional responsibility, we support, or we are the link into our global market and service organization.
And I guess that we're going to talk a little bit about some of your products as well, but it's not the worst time to be Müller Martini, right? The range of products you have and the appreciation I hear from the market, it is not the worst time, right?
That's great. Well, from a sales perspective, and also
you can always sell more.
Talking about my role, my focus is the Müller Martini factories in Switzerland and Germany, and we still have Daniel and Patrick on the Hunkeler side, looking for the sales for their factory sales. Mm-hmm. But of course, from a group perspective, we have added a lot of additional applications to our portfolio.
I was more thinking that if we look at the history of Müller Martini, it's a company that has delivered to the newspaper industry, has delivered to, let's say, web offset presses, delivered to commercial print. Seems that you have always been quite good at adapting to the market changes. I remember the first time I saw a viral binder, I was just like, wow, these guys, they have really thought about a new way of doing things, and I was just like, wow, that is so how should I say it? It is so great to see that that the innovation keeps moving this industry forward. And in that perspective, I think that Müller Martini has both let's say a legacy, but also a very much forward-looking view on the future. Is that how you see it as well, or?
I see it as well. The company started almost 80 years ago, and interestingly, our founder Hans Müller, he started his career at Hunkeler as a design engineer.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But then he went into the saddle stitching, soft cover, hard cover. You mentioned newspapers. Newspaper is my personal background.
Oh,
that's when I started 17 years ago. Mm-hmm. And still looking back to that time with a smile. But interestingly, also at that time, what we have done in the newspapers, it was like a workflow control systems, it was the high-speed inserters, it was microsonic, it was dispatch according to postal routes and things like that. So a lot of similarities to what we are doing today in a smart factory environment. And I just to end this, I'm proud on our company because I think we are one of the old traditional companies in the traditional graphic arts industry, and we are still here, and I think we will be here in the future as well.
I'm sure you will. I mean, also because the market, I mean, it's always like when you look at the consolidations in the market, you can say you consolidate because of economy, or you consolidate because there is a let's say efficiency. I mean, there can be a lot of different reasons. And when you look at the consolidation between Hunkeler and Müller Martini, it seems very natural, as you say. It started back 80 years ago with the Hans that worked for Hunkeler, and now it's kind of closing the loop. And it's funny because in this digital transformation where you have been in all the analog steps, Hunkeler has been in the digital space for the most of the time. And now it seems also that gives you new synergies because they have contacts, they have customers, they have, let's say, things where the combination of Hunkeler and Müller Martini is very interesting, which may not have happened because of all the different distributions you had also in the past, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, even before the merger, we have managed to develop or to get our foot into the digital side. But now, of course, synergies are coming together. I mean, we have a great design engineer team. They know how to make a book by means of our machines. On the Hunkeler
side. I'm really happy now, George, because I thought that you would say that. Okay, now they're learning to make books, but you didn't, right?
Of course, Morten. And on the other side, we have the know-how in the digital print industry, in the digital paper processing, and I think together we are in a position to hopefully even develop faster, newer, better solutions.
When you work in sales and you have people that are visiting customers all the time, I mean, what are the biggest, let's say, trends that you see when it comes to, let's say, the next generation? You know, there's been these mega trends of products of one. Is that also something you see? I mean, I know that you have stitching machines that can do also products of one, and you have books of one, of course. But is that like the general trend on everything you see, or do you also see some other trends that are interesting?
Well, I mean, obviously, labor is a big issue in our industry. I mean,
so more automation
coming from everybody, and I think we address this requirement or this challenge by just trying to be even more automated, more flexible, and more capable to do actually the customized production or the short run or even down to the book of one production. I think technology, let's talk inkjetology. I mean, it's a big change going on in the market. Books that are produced by means of digital printing or inkjet printing, they grow on a like 10 or 15% rate annually. So it's a lot going on in the industry, and we will see a lot of this obviously next week in Lucerne.
I can't help think about. I spoke to Rob from Contiweb the other day, and he spoke about this utilization kind of value chain, basically that, and it's the same with binding equipment, is that you need to have a printing company that has invested in some kind of printing equipment before you can sell binding equipment, unless it's a bindery, of course, right? I was just thinking because, I mean, also again, you are in a very good position, because when the technology shifts from, let's say, analog and offset, now it's changing to digital, so you can just, tie yourself to the end of the sales process and just start I'm saying just in quotation, but getting things developed, and then it starts an entirely new market with new requirements and new types of products. That must be, I mean, first of all, it requires, of course, the change in the mindset, but it must also be very interesting because, turning, like, say, a Koenig & Bauer or Heidelberg or Komori is a big ship, right? Yes. But you don't have to wait for them to change. You can basically go to HP and Canon and Ricoh and all the others that we will see next week, and that gives you new opportunities. That must also be quite exciting.
Well, one thing is we are, for 20 years, we try to come up with the solution. We anticipated the trend of what's going on right now even earlier. Now, of course, we need to bring the puzzle together with our solution partners.
Mm-hmm. True. And of course, that is the challenge, is always like, make sure that you get the right products ready when they are ready, and that kind of collaboration. George,
it's also the way of how books are produced or how books are consumed today. I mean, it's a lot about the logistics. You don't produce anymore to the warehouse. You just you produce on demand or in short runs.
At last Innovationdays, Hunkeler introduced their let's say logistics solution to the book things with these boxes that fell down for sorting. I can't remember. Do you have something that is competing with them in that segment, or does that just complement what you're doing together?
At the moment, this is complementary, but of course, interlogistics, that's a topic now. We can focus our activities more concentrated together with Hunkeler, and there, of course, we're working on additions, and hopefully we will see soon something new that's coming out.
Oh, you're teasing something, but can't say anything. That's annoying. I
don't tease, but of course, I mean, already today we can produce a book from the PDF to the printer, to the book block creation, to the binder, to the trimmer, to the sorting. So I think the connections are quite well made already.
At Innovationdays, I was in Lucerne last week, and I could see some quite interesting things. Because I also had the chance to meet with Christoph Müller there, and I could see that also on your booth you have like this. You just I don't know actually if it was your booth. It was probably not your booth. It was like this when you saw the HP and the Heidelberg together, where you have like this line of bringing two different lines of productions into one. Binding. That was quite interesting. Is that just one of the things that you're showing there, or can you tell us a little bit of what to expect?
It's the three solutions, and what you mentioned, I think probably when you saw it last week, it was not too easy to understand fully.
No, but I can tell you, I got a drawing yesterday, and I was actually looking at it because I was like, that's how they do it.
It's first solution is on our booth. So we do that together with Heidelberg. They are our co-exhibitor. So it's an application from white sheet to the finished book, softcover book, different sizes, different formats, Jetfire 50, printing. Interestingly, content and cover printing. They also show other applications, but not in our case. As a world premiere, we show, in connection with the Jetfire, the Starbook sheet folder to do the book blocks. We go into Vareo Pro number 1, so Perfect Binder number 1, and from there, over the drying section, into the Infinitrim and subsequent sorting. Why subsequent sorting? Because there is another product stream coming from the other side, from our neighbor booth, HP. They produce in a separate Perfect Binder. So
two separate projects basically, but using the same trimmings, or
exactly at the same. The two product streams come together into the trim robot, and after the trimmer, we do sort again according to where the products came from. With that, we can show the cut sheet solution from white sheet to the finished book. We can show the two Vareos into the Infinitrim, which is a soft cover cell. And on the other side, we have HP printing on the reel, inline connected to the Hunkeler Starbook plow folder in a combi solution, into the perfect binder, and then into the Infinitrim.
That sounds like
but
it sounds like a big.
I mean, if you look at the both cells independently, you have a book factory.
And now you have two.
We have two fully operational book factory from, with our workflow, Connex does the impositioning. We send the job to the printer, we print, we do even impositioning for the covers. The book blocks are coming together with the cover. We have a glued book block, Infinitrim, a final product, and the products are coming out in small batches, small runs, different formats, different sizes. So it will. I'm very happy about this. It's going to be quite spectacular.
And of course, also an inspiration, because Innovation Days is of course showcasing innovations, but also the slogan for this year's Innovation Days is Connect. And I think it's great because here's actually three vendors working together, connecting each other both via software and hardware and applications, but also to inspire. I think you mentioned about this labor thing that is becoming more and more an issue. This sounds to me like almost like in lights out production, right?
It's the ultimate goal, obviously. But of course, with such a production line, we can address the key challenges of our customers. Sustainability as an example. It's also something that we talk about quite a lot. What's our contribution to sustainability with such a line? We are not producing waste.
Precisely.
We produce to order, we don't go to storage. That's one thing. There is another partner that is included into our Innovation Days presentation, Canon. We are not physically connected because it's not possible.
They're in hall 2. Hall 2 and you're in hall 1.
Right? Yeah. But by means of our Connex workflow, we are connected. So on the Pro Stream, they will print the reels, and we will process them on our digital saddle stitcher by means of unwinding, Hunkeler unwinder, cutter, Heidelberg folder, and then the stitcher. All controlled by Connex, imposed by Connex, sequence optimized by Connex, including of course the reporting. And I'm very happy that we can do that together with Canon, because we will be with a small team on their booth to talk about the joint workflow solution. So Connex, Prisma, complementary tools for the best solution for the customer.
And that is of course also interesting, because I think that sometimes printing companies find that stitched solution has become something that is too little profit in it. But I guess also when you look at a super automated solution like something that is integrated, now it becomes something where you can actually make money. Again, you have very little setup time, you have very little waste, and then you have a product that actually works very well. I think that is also part of the journey, right?
Yeah. On the traditional side, on the conventional saddle stitching, it's quite a job to earn money with a saddle stitching job. Yeah. But now with evolving inkjet technology, we see a growing demand for saddle stitch booklets, magazines like this, and we have a nice case that we will also present at Hunkeler Innovation Day. Customer demand, or his customers, they want quicker turnaround times. With the Prinova Digital, now he has doubled the output with the same amount of labor. And he is able to offer, what is it called? Express booklet. So order today, deliver tomorrow, and of course he can sell it at a premium. So it makes, it's justifying his investment, his ROI, and it's a business again, digital saddle stitching application.
And it's funny when you mention that, and I think it's important for the people that watch this space is that sometimes you think that online print is getting too cheap, right? But I spoke to an online printer and he basically said that because we have, let's say, a little bit longer delivery times on, let's say, normal productions, and we have all these expedite productions at a premium price. He said today it was about 42% of all the products they do are premium products, right? Basically meaning that people are willing to pay for something with a faster turnaround time. And that just emphasizes how important it is to have a very, let's say, dynamic workflow solution so you can easily patch products into what line of production that is needed for the SLAs, right?
Yes. I mean, we are very keen to promote the digital production, but digital production not by the means of digital printing, but a digital setup of the entire workflow, so a data-driven production. Order is coming in, it's processed automatically, is sent to the right machine at the right time, and you don't have like the slip sheets to collect in the office and walk around and deliver it in the factory. I mean,
sounds like when I was working in a printing company, there was nothing bad in that time, I tell you.
No, of course, but
just joking.
Today there are examples where digital web printing machines are bought, and the mindset, we are now digital, but the workflows behind are not touched.
And that is, of course, also one of the things that is what I like about Innovation Days is because you get these opportunities to talk to people that have gone through the digital transformation and now can, I think that, and that is actually one of the things I also like about this industry. I think that most people are very open-minded to share what they experience, both technology and also workflow-wise. And I think that is, again, why these 4 days has become so important. I think when I've been talking to about 40 of your exhibitors as part of like this interview here. And I think that what I experienced from talking to people is that even though this is not as big as Drupa or Printing United or these kind of shows, it is seen by many as it may be even more important because all the 8,000 people that are expected to come are people that are in this space. This is where we talk directly to their hearts and their brains, hopefully, right? So
a lot of people that coming to the show have some decision to take within the next few months,
precisely,
years, and that's value for not only for us, Hunkeler, but for all the other exhibitors. I mean, the quality of visitors is just amazing.
I tell you, it's also, I think maybe also the reason why I think that the Innovation Days has developed since the first time I saw that the Innovation Day show as my favorite show of all is because, I mean, I like also seeing the technology at work, and of course I do that in printing companies. But when you come to Innovation Days, all your specialists are also here, right? So you can ask all the strange questions, and you can get response to it. And I think that is maybe one of the reasons why I think this is one of the best. And I also think that you're right that let's say the buzz on the floor is high because people are not here to waste their time. They want to network, but they want to also get something out of it. And therefore everybody has this high vibe on the show floor, right?
Yeah. Well, it's exactly what I wanted to say. You don't waste time because from one booth to the next, I mean, everything is very much concentrated.
So it's of course the first time that it's not the first time that Müller Martini obviously is exhibit, but it's the first time you exhibit as Hunkeler's parent company. Does that change anything from how you are at the show, or is it the same thing?
From a Müller Martini point of view, nothing changes. I mean, we are an exhibitor there with the Müller Martini brand. I mean, and we are not going to change Hunkeler Innovation Days. It's a strong brand. It's a very good event, and we really didn't want to stress too much laser blue equipment, because we want to really keep it open, because the show is not only for us, it's for our partner companies and for the other industry players. So
But
I think this is an important statement.
But there is a change in the sense that you have a lot of your dealers coming in this time. That's new, right?
Well, for me now, it's more like a Drupa. We will be there with like full force, so to say, on the sales side. But we have to, because a lot of our Müller Martini market organization, they are now coming into the lead towards the customers. So it's actually, timing is very good, as we see that, of course, it's from a networking perspective, customers, printer partners, finishing partners, but of course also from a training perspective.
Fantastic. George, are you personally looking forward to get to next week? Or are you more looking forward to get over next week?
No, of course. It will start on Saturday, and from then until Thursday, I think it will be busy time, but obviously we are looking forward to it very much. And hope to see you there soon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We will meet, obviously.
Yeah. We are filming, as you know, also in the weekend for the premium partners. So Chica and Jack and I, we will be there from Friday, and then the rest of the team arrives during the weekend, and we are 9 people on the floor. So we expect actually to make 120 productions from Innovation Days, plus the Bonjours that, as you said, are quite famous.
Yes.
And it's funny because it was a format that was actually, it was not introduced the very first time at Innovation Days 2 years ago, but it was a format that was refined. And then I think at Innovation Days last time, it became something where people like, okay, this is fun, because it is like watching a morning TV program from home where you have a coffee and talk a little bit about everything, right?
Exactly.
Well,
by the way, I mean, we do produce INKISH mag on our booth.
Yes, I was just about to ask you about that, but then because I know that Canon have like 2 setups. They have like the IX series with the Horizon, and then they have the roll base with you guys, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you know, is it every second day, or is it a split, or
well,
do you know how it works?
Yeah, I don't know it by heart at the moment.
Okay.
I could check for you, but
no, it's fine. I can tell for the audience that what we're talking about is that INKISH together with Canon, that has organized together with Müller Martini and Horizon to make our Innovation Days daily. And there will be a little box on the front page of the magazine where variable data will tell which paper, which binding, which press it has been printed on. So you will always be able to take a copy from either machine and see what you think, and if there's any difference in how it's bound, how it's printed, what paper it's being used. And I also want to say, now you bring it up, that in the center spread there is a photo of something. And that little something is something that you can go to Canon's booth, and then you can see if you can find the match of it, because Canon's slogan is part of something bigger. And I think that's a great way to showcase how digital print, because all these magazines will be printed with variable data, and I'm very excited. So I think
curious to see what it is then.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I will not tell you. I can tell you when we turn off the camera, because it's a secret for our audience, but not for you, George.
Okay.
And it will be fun to do this. And I had hoped that we were the first to do Innovation Days daily, but Matthias Annerheim told me that somebody did that previously. So we have to live with that. We do something that hopefully will be read and found interesting to read. I can tell you that I have done some of the interviews that we can't do on site, but all the other things will be due on site, both the design and writing and delivery to Canon for being printed. So you can even go to Canon's booth every day at around 1-ish, 2-ish, and then you will be able to see the magazine being printed. So wow, isn't that just fantastic?
Great.
Fantastic. George, as always, wonderful to talk to you and talk to Müller Martini. Absolutely one of my favorite companies in the industry. So I look very much forward to see you and your colleagues in next week in Lucerne, and who knows, maybe we should be bumping into each other over the weekend as well.
Thank you very much, Morten. It was really a pleasure. Thank you.
Likewise. Take care. Bye.